Today's feature is sponsored by Kawi Performance. Visit them on the web at kawiperformance.com. Hey guys, JD here from JD's Waterworld for Watercraft Journal. And today we're looking at an awesome product from our friends over at Kawi Performance. So let's take a look. So I've got two parts in front of me here. This is KP's automatic tensioner arm assembly. Here we have a stainless steel bolt that's included with the kit. This is our Kawi Performance stainless steel idler. The stock tensioner has a bushing assembly that must be disassembled and greased every 25 to 50 hours depending on your riding style. I've noticed that in salt, it's going to be closer to 25 hours. These are made from high quality billet aluminum with a black hard coat. They include 303 stainless steel washers, 303 stainless steel bushings, 304 stainless steel snap rings, Vitten seals with 316 stainless springs inside, and stainless steel made in Japan high quality bearings. This tensioner is designed to put an additional 5 to 10 pounds on the belt, which reduces wear and slippage. This part is virtually maintenance free. Now the tensioner itself right here does not include this pulley, but Kawi Performance has gone ahead and sent their high quality stainless steel tensioner pulley. Now this has got a fully replaceable bearing that Kawi Performance sells. It's a really high quality piece. So to complete this project successfully, you'll first have to remove the oil catch can and associated hoses. Then we'll have to remove the plastic belt cover shroud that protects the belt. Next, we'll have to unbolt the main tensioner spring and idler pulley from the tensioner bracket and remove those from the ski so that they can be reused with the KP products. Alright, let's get the process started. First, remove all three hoses connected to the catch can. Then, using a 10mm socket, remove the two 10mm bolts securing the catch can to the intercooler. When you remove the line from the bottom of the catch can, be careful not to spill any oil. Now that the catch can has been removed from the ski, we can now access the two 10mm bolts holding the plastic belt cover shroud in place. Without removing the exhaust manifold, it is a little tricky to get this shroud out of the ski, but it can be done. Now that the shroud is out of the way, we have full access to the Supercharger tensioner assembly as well as the Supercharger pulley and drive belt. Place your 19mm socket on the adjuster nut here. This releases the tension on the spring and allows you to slip the belt off. To loosen the tension on the belt, you want to make sure that you push your breaker bar away from the exhaust. So you want to push it that way. So you can see the belt is now loose. It's easier to pull it off of the idler pulley first and then slip it off of the main drive pulley here. So I'm just going to show you loosening. This is the main pivot bushing nut. We're going to loosen this one, and then this holds the spring on. We're going to take this one off too. Some people might need a breaker bar to remove this. I was able to do it with a 14mm wrench. Take the nut and washer off, being careful not to drop them in the bilge. Now that we've removed the bottom nut with a 14mm wrench, use a 12mm wrench to loosen the upper nut. For this video, I've already loosened it, and I'm just showing you for demonstration purposes how to get it off. So in removing the stock tensioner from the ski, some people might note that Kawasaki does sell a special spring holder tool designed to make this process easier. So for this tutorial and for most of my maintenance, I do not use the spring compressor tool. That's perfectly fine as long as you handle the spring very carefully and don't allow it to extend fully. As I mentioned earlier in the video, we will be reusing a few of the parts from the stock assembly. The first being this bolt that secures the idler pulley. Note that the washer here is not a crush ring, it is a dust guard. So the orientation of it should be facing not like this, but like this. The KP kit includes a new stainless steel washer, so the old one will not need to be reused. We will, however, be reusing the damper spring as shown here. Remove the stock 12mm bolt holding it in place, as the KP kit includes a stainless one. So if you will be reusing your spring, like I am, you want to check these bushings at either side so you can pop them out there. So just make sure that those are free, not seized up. Here's a first look at our Kawi Performance tensioner assembly with dual stainless bearings, and our stock aluminum assembly with a bushing. And here's a look at our fully stainless steel Kawi Performance idler with a stainless steel bearing, compared to our stock assembly, which is aluminum with a carbon steel bearing. You could see all this rust on the stock bearing. Now the bearing spins okay, but you could see all this rust on the casing. And you could see all this wear from the belt. So the bushing isn't seized up or anything, but you could see how tight it is, even when it's greased up. This Kawi Performance part, you could see, there you go. So the most important part about the spring that we'll be reusing is that it's marked top on one side and it's flat on the other side. Always ensure that the part marked top is facing upwards. Next, apply a dab of grease to the automatic tensioner arm and set the Kawi Performance stainless part in place. Make sure to put the dust cap on properly, facing upwards. Next, apply a little bit of anti-seize to both your pulley bolt and your spring bolt. The pulley bolt will be torqued to 35 foot-pounds, and the spring bolt, which is a 13mm stainless steel bolt, will be torqued to 18 foot-pounds. Alright, so this assembly is now ready to go back in the ski. Make a full assessment on the condition of your drive belt before installing your new tensioner. The belt on the right is a worn-out belt with just over 85 hours, and the one on the left is a brand new OEM belt. Okay, so now we're going to pick up our KP automatic tensioner, and this is basically going to go, we're just going to move our old belt out of the way. I've got my hands on the bushings on either side, making sure that they don't fall off. So there's your complete assembly. We're reusing this washer as well. This goes right on the outside. Okay, so we've got our new Kawi Performance tensioner in place. Our belt is right here ready to go on. This 14mm acorn nut right here. That's going to be torqued to 33 foot-pounds. So now we're just torquing that 14mm nut to 33 foot-pounds. We're now installing the 12mm acorn nut. Now we're going to torque our top 12mm nut to 22 foot-pounds. Okay, so now we're going to use this breaker bar here to slowly remove tension from the tensioner assembly. You have a breaker bar here with a 19mm socket, and you're going to push it that way. So now you're going to reach down, you're going to slip that belt underneath the tensioner. It can be a bit challenging to get the belt back in place, especially if not using the spring holder tool. Okay, so we've got our new tensioner in place, we've got our new belt in place, and everything's been cleaned up. So now the final step is to put the oil catch can back in place. That has 3 hoses, each with a clamp, and 2 10mm bolts. I'm really excited to get in the water and try this, do some speed runs, just get the overall feel of the tensioner. After verifying that everything functioned properly at home, it was now time to get the Ultra 310 out on the water for a sea trial. The KP automatic tensioner does not offer any immediate performance gains, like say an ECU tune or upgraded supercharger pulley. But the real appeal of this component lies in the maintenance-free design of the stainless steel bearing assembly and accompanying stainless idler pulley. As the stock tensioner wears out over time and the grease in the bushing washes out or reaches its maintenance interval, the bushing tends to bind, causing the supercharger belt to slip and leading to a loss of boost and overall performance. I'm confident that the KP automatic tensioner will provide me with hours and hours of maintenance-free riding and let me focus on what I like best, getting out on the ocean. Kawi Performance offers a complete set of written instructions for installing these components. Visit their website for details. Warning: this procedure requires technical knowledge and special tools. Please consult a qualified Kawasaki watercraft mechanic before attempting to install this component on your own. This video was sponsored by Kawi Performance. To purchase any of the products featured in this video, visit kawiperformance.com.